Hello, hello everyone. This is kind of an experimental video because I'm genuinely trying to understand what's going on. It's not like I'm talking to you guys. I'm more like I'm talking to myself. Uh, and my dilemma is this. So like basically all my life I was a bum in a way. Not because like I wanted to, but because I didn't know any better, I guess. And then in the past couple years, I would say after starting doing my masters, I started to realize that like, oh my god, life is in my hands, and I have to like bust ass now, have to work hard, have to figure it out. Because again, the longer I live, the more I understand that. I mean, nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's coming to like figure it out for you. So I think I've been kind of, and if I go hard. You know what I mean? Like I cannot stop until I do this or that or figure it out or whatever. And even if I achieve a certain goal, it's never enough because the goalpost keeps shifting, keeps moving. Yeah. So I'm just gonna okay. So and recently I started to like, how on Instagram I don't sit like an Instagram per se, but like how like there's a lot of this like gifs, and one in particular I like a lot is the guy with the cortisol meter on low, and then he's like sitting like this chilling. And I've been thinking, damn, like I give myself so much fucking stress for absolutely no reason. Because again, let's think for a second here. We all know survivorship bias, right? We all know that just because you woke up at 6 a.m. and you read a self help book, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really mean that you're going to succeed in the end, right? It doesn't really mean that you'll build a bazillion-dollar business and you'll succeed and you'll find a wife and you'll buy a house and stuff like that, right? Things are not guaranteed, and I have pretty ambitious goals, and naturally for those kind of ambitious goals you need to work really hard. And I've been really putting in the work and really busting ass for the past like couple years, I would say. And I start to kind of burn out. And again, you could say like, dude, it's not about the working, it's about like pacing, it's about like taking it easy when you can and just like doing a little bit every day. Yeah, sure, buddy, but like the world doesn't work this way, right? It's like the odds are so against you right now as an individual, especially like if you are in your like teens or 20s or like before 30s or like even or early 30s. The world is against you, buddy. And it's not like it's not by design, it's just it's a natural succession of events, right? We know what's going on. We know the economic situation and stuff like that. Young people working as much as the previous generation just cannot afford a house, just cannot buy a house. So it's like, you don't save, you just indulge in momentary pleasures, which is fine because again, what can you do? You cannot save money because it's like no point in it. I guess my larger point is that life became really hard, and not in the sense that you cannot live. Yeah, you can live. It's just that now you kind of suddenly realize that midlife crisis is coming way earlier, and it's like coming at the quarter life crisis because all of a sudden you're like realizing, oh my god, if I don't get lucky, I might not buy a house. If I don't get lucky, I might not like find a wife and raise a kid. I'm not saying like you have to raise a kid. I mean, I used to think that I will need it to raise a kid, but like, dude, the more I live, I just see, I don't know. I don't know. I'm 27. I didn't even live my life yet. You know what I mean? I'm a career fucking student. Thankfully, I don't have no student loans. Thanks for that. But I'm just saying, right? It's like I have to find a job. I have to like start to provide for myself at 27. And I didn't like travel the world. I didn't see like what's going on, you know? So I'm just kind of wondering, like, now what? Because we can't all get lucky, right? We can't all earn a bazillion dollars and all live a rich, happy, fulfilling life. I mean, some can debate that like happy and fulfilling doesn't necessarily have to do anything with money, and I agree. However, it's no secret that you kind of need money to you know, not hate yourself every morning and like at least, I don't know, like wake up reasonably okay and like, you know, eat decent food. Because again, like you see, the situation is systemic, right? It's not the one thing. It's not just the money. Oh, you know, the money is now harder to get or something. No, you can get money. It's just you cannot buy as much stuff as you could before. Yeah, we get it. Okay, inflation. Yeah, sure, but also then like the groceries are worse now, right? Because mass production is so fucking mass production that now the groceries are bad, and if you want to buy better groceries, you need more money. And it's like, you know, it's just like shit is available. It's just worse in quality, right? It's just like, you know, I don't know. And I'm just thinking, so basically, like, my larger point here overall is that I've been busting ass for a while now, and I don't necessarily like think of giving up. Like, you know, like in China they say there's this term called tangping, right, or like lying flat, giving up, because like they realize that like, oh shit, economic situation is really bad, unemployment is like on the rise, like what 50% of their population, the youth ones, can't get a fucking job. I mean, it's kind of bad, right? And I mean, lying flat. Boomers will disagree. Boomers will say, "Oh, you guys are like egoistic." But like, in such times when nobody cares for you, and even government, not like even government, but like you see it clearly. Government never cared about you, sure, but like now you see it clearer than any time ever, right? So it's like if you understand that nobody actually gives a shit about you, why wouldn't you start giving a shit about yourself, right? And that's like, I think, a realization that I start coming towards right now, because you know, when you're grinding, when you're busting ass, you have to sacrifice things. You have to sacrifice time and energy, spend somewhere else, put in somewhere else, right? And I would say that I have always kind of slacking in the self-care department, and alongside living a miserable life and dying a miserable death, I have this fear of like getting old and getting like all like, you know, ugly and like wrinkly and like stupid and stuff like that. So, and you know, current day and age has no shortage of cortisol supply, right? So I'm just thinking like, I mean, and it's like, it's always like this, right? Like on one hand, yeah, it's meritocracy, right? You work hard, you get better results. Okay, so you have to work hard, right? Sure, but then also on the other hand, it's like a wheel of like a chance of luck, right? Because not everyone who worked hard got where they wanted to, and one might say, sure, yeah, whatever, it's not the goal, it's like the path, and you know, the walk, you have to walk the walk, and you have to be like all philosophical about it. And I am the most number one philosophical guy. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, I kind of want a roof over my head and you know, and a food to feed my stomach. So I don't know, which one is it? Is it that I have to work hard, or is it that I have to kind of chill? I can chill, and then if I'm like destined to be there, I'll be there. And I'm kind of torn between the two now, because earlier, like even earlier in this year, I was really like pro meritocracy, right? I was like, no, you know, rise and grind. You have to like just bust ass. You have to like really do the deed, whatever, right? You have to like really work on it. If you really want to achieve something, if you really want to get somewhere, you have to really work. And I've been working, all right? The thing is, I'm also in such a kind of a field that like the payoff is not even now, right? The payoff will be like later, right? Yeah, so it's like, okay, if I'm gonna grind, sure, I'm gonna grind. But then I'll be also like fucking cortisol-ridden corpse by 35, with my like back falling off and like my teeth falling off, and me being like extremely, how do I say it? Like all like jittery and like neurotic and like with lines over my everywhere, you know, and like with these bags under my eyes and just like looking like a fucking zombie. What will it worth, really? I mean, yeah, sure. There's this guy Brian Johnson. He's a big man, you know. But like, you know, I'm just saying, like, we cannot all get lucky, right? We cannot all get lucky. And as much as I would love for everyone to succeed, I mean, sure, yes, success is whatever, how you define it, yes. But also, like, not everyone can be Lightning McQueen, right? Somebody has to be that guy who's leaking oil, right? And his one eye is shot, that car, right? So, who's gonna be that? Is it gonna be me? Am I gonna be that car with the eye shut, whose fucking tires are all popped and he cannot drive anymore? Well, and if it's gonna be me, then why? Why is it going to be me? Did I do something wrong? Because again, nobody taught me anything, right? Nobody taught me shit. Nobody taught me anything. Nobody guided me. Nobody like was my teacher. Nobody told me like, okay, this is what you do. This is how you do it. This is what, like, you know, what you're gonna get. Never had it. Nobody gave me keys from their, like, you know, fucking generational business. So I'm trying to figure it out. And apparently this is the worst time to figure it out. And I mean, some might say, whoa, buddy, relax, right? It's like geopolitical tensions are not your business right now, right? Because we humans are historically living in a very small scale, right? Like if I'm living like in a city, I barely know what's going on in the city, let alone like the country or like the world itself. But now with the internet and like all this stuff, we know everything, right? So maybe this knowledge is kind of hurting us and harming us, because if you don't know how bad it is, maybe you don't catastrophize, or like it's like selection bias, right? If you know that everything is shit, then you will see, oh damn, like this is why it's shit, right? But maybe it's not that, you know? Maybe it's not the point. Maybe it's not the case. I don't know. I'm just saying that, like, who's choosing, who's gonna pick, who's gonna suck, you know? Because I don't want to suck, and I will try to not suck, but like, will it really make me not suck? My extreme efforts, my like busting ass, will I really not suck because of those? And I don't know. Because burnout is, you know, you can laugh about burnout when it's not there, but when it's gonna kick in, you will realize. And I'm realizing it, like, I think not yet, but I might soon, because you know burnout, right? Like, it fucks you up. It will fuck you up 100%. You will lie on your bed. You will not want to do anything. You will not want to wake up. You will not want to get up from your fucking bed. And it's not because you're lazy or stupid or fucking something. It's just because your brain is so oversaturated with everything. There's just so much stress that, like, you cannot tolerate this much stress, dude. And we think we can, but we cannot. Right? We cannot, because nobody ever did that before us. Like, think about a child 100 years ago. Sure, there were famines. Sure, there were wars. Yes. Not everywhere, though. And not every child had a fucking phone with a TikTok where he can watch every single thing on the world, on the planet. I'm just saying. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know shit. So maybe I should just kind of chill out. Like, I do what I have to do, and I should just kind of chill out, and like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But also, like, what if it doesn't? What if I have to work harder? How much harder can I work? Like, you know, when you're working hard, it's not like you're working medium, right? You're working on medium strength. No, you're working hard. Like, hard is your capacity, right? So you're like emptying your almost your capacity every day. So how much harder can you work if you're already working hard? Or like, what? Oh, you have to no, you have to work smarter. There's no point in doing a fucking day job if you're stupid. You have to be smart. Okay, so like, now what? Do you understand that, like, the layman, the regular worker is like the foundation of society because they kind of do all the job and they kind of technically bring all the money. So it's like, you know, I don't know.